the mortgage industry has been beyond phenomenal to me and so many others. It's a great career, but is it a good career for everybody? In today's episode, we're going to unpack why it might not be a good fit for all. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children 18 plus. You are tuned in to the Loan Officer Podcast with me, Dustin Owen, and my main man,
JC
John Coleman.
Yo, what's poppin'?
What is poppin' is that when this episode drops,
Okay.
I am going to be in my heaven.
7D Ranch.
7D Ranch, here we come. And then we're going to be in Glacier National Park. So I get to spend 10 days with my wife and my children.
Mm-hmm.
And actually a family friend of ours, the Bells, Mike and Liz and their two kids. And we are going to go to Sunlight Basin, Wyoming,
Okay.
which is just north of Cody, just east of Yellowstone.
Shout out Yellowstone.
And spend just 7 days, 6 nights in the most beautiful part of our country that I've ever experienced.
Do you want me to give you some mushrooms for the trip? This would be the perfect time for you to explore your inner self.
Do I want you to? Want's a strong word. Would I be upset if you did? I mean, I'm not going to stop you.
This would be, you're going to, come on, because this pilgrimage only happens twice a year, right?
No, every 2 years.
So that's twice. Oh, sorry, yes. Every 2 years. Sorry.
I can't afford twice a year.
Yeah, twice a year. That would be stupid. My bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this is the perfect time for you to just lay in the field of daffodils and just fucking trip your balls off.
I'm probably going to pass on that for now. Right? It's a no for now, but it's not a hard no, John. It's a no for now. But then when we leave 7D, the ranch, we leave the ranch on Saturday, and we're going to drive our happy butts all the way up to Glacier National Park, which is in Montana,
That's what to say.
just south of the Canada border. But from what I heard, that is even more gorgeous
Oh, really?
than Sunlight Basin.
I think I'm going to the Cayman Islands next week.
Are you really?
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'll get a beer or whatever. It'd be
Yeah,
all
well,
right.
you know what you don't have to carry with you in the Cayman Islands that I have to carry with me where I'm going? Bear spray.
Children and guilt.
I don't have any guilt I'm carrying with me, but I definitely will have some children, and you will not have to carry children with you.
I think I'm just bringing a carry-on.
Yeah, no, I will have to pack bear spray. I won't pack it. I'll buy it when I get there.
Don't hurt the bears. Don't be out there
No,
shooting bears.
I won't shoot anything. I just don't want to be eaten or clawed to
They're
death.
not gonna eat you.
Well, you never know, John. They will attack if they get scared or curious. So
Well, maybe you know what? Maybe being an outdoorsman isn't for you, Dustin.
Wow.
Sorry, yeah.
5 years into it, he's now calling me Justin. You know what's crazy is my wife's grandmother, and we dated for like 2, 3, maybe even 4 years before she passed away. This was years ago, but she always called me Justin.
Really?
Like, I'm like, hey, Bernie, my name's Dustin, but she loved to call me Justin. You just called me Justin. It's like there's 3 things not to do to my name.
Yeah.
3.
What's that?
Okay, don't call me Dusty.
Yeah.
Okay, don't. My name's with a D, not a J. And my last name is without the S. It's Owen, not Owens.
Right.
It's that simple. Like your name, okay, don't call you Johnny. There's an H in your name.
Yeah.
You're not Jonathan.
No.
Other than that, like you can't really screw up Coleman, can you?
won't. But you keep going. Get into the episode. I'm gonna fix this panel.
You're going to fix the panel right now
In real time.
in real time. Check this out. So John's going to fix this panel in real time. You're tuning in right now. I am hopefully not falling off a mountain or being eaten by a bear. And no, I am not tripping balls on the mushrooms that John wanted to give me. But what I am doing is I'm going to discuss all of the reasons why a career as a mortgage broker / mortgage loan originator / LO, MLO, loan officer, it's all the same thing, right? It's all financial sales, but more specifically residential home loans, where our job is to help people obtain the financing they need to purchase residential real estate. Okay, why would you not want to enter into this industry? First and foremost, it is retail. Please know that it's retail. You are being paid to serve everyday Americans, middle America, middle class, like retail, whether you're a cashier at the local grocery store, whether you're working at the department store, whether you're at Home Depot, it's retail. Customer's always right. It is retail. And not everyone's cut out for retail, because retail is having to smile even when you don't want to smile. Retail is want to tell someone to go F off, but you can't tell them to go F off. So we start with that. It's retail. The second reason why you would not want to do this, and it's also why people don't make it. People don't make it because they suck at retail. They're not good at customer service.
That's me.
Right? Like, hey, this job's not for you. This is why you won't make it. But the probably the number one reason people don't make it is because it's a sales job. People do not understand that most careers that come with unlimited income potential, which mortgage broker, loan officer, MLO, like unlimited potential in terms of income, it's because it's a sales job. He or she that procures the lead makes all the money. It is your job to go out and lead generate. How do you lead generate? You have to sell, you have to market, you have to network. In order to network, you sometimes have to cold call people, introduce yourself, and convince them to meet with you. And then when they meet with you, you then have to build a relationship so that they trust you and they want to refer you. Then when that person gets referred to you, we call those people borrowers, by the way. When those borrowers are referred to you, you're probably not the only lender they're talking to.
Facts.
So now you have to sell yourself and sell your services and sell your advice as to why you should be the guy or girl who actually helps them procure the loan that's going to help them buy that piece of real estate. And that's a process. So you don't just jump in and overnight you have this massive network of referral sources who are referring you. And you don't just jump in overnight. And when you do get those referrals, you actually know what you're talking about to where you can convince someone you are the right professional for them. So most people don't make it, and they're not cut out for this career because they're not cut out for sales. And they also aren't cut out for endurance racing, right? Not everybody's going to go out and race a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, or sign up for a Ironman race, right? They're not endurance athletes. That doesn't fit who they are. Well, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're starting your own business, when you're a 100% commission sales professional, which by the way, mortgage brokers and loan officers aren't the only ones. Realtors, this I'm talking to you. Financial advisors, I'm talking to you. Life insurance salespeople, I'm talking to you. Like, these are all very similar types of career paths, and all very similar reasons why people won't make it is because, well, at the end of the day, you suck at sales. And by sucking at sales, it's okay to suck at it. But what it is you suck at giving effort to becoming better. You suck at sticking it out long enough that you give yourself the at-bats and the opportunities to fail forward. Therefore, you don't make it. You don't have the mental fortitude to do the crappy part of picking up the phone or picking up your keyboard or picking up your pocket computer, aka your smartphone, and start texting, DMing, emailing, and calling strangers for the sole purpose of promoting yourself, promoting your brand, connecting with people, and networking. So that would be like, hey, if you're not willing to do those things, if you're not cool with cold calling, if you're not cool with walking into an office where you don't know people to introduce yourself, if you're not cool going to an event and making it your point that you talk to 10 people, that you get 10 business cards, you connect with 10 people on LinkedIn, like, and you're not willing to stick it out, then yeah, this is not for you. And then the third thing that I think not enough of us, me included, not enough of us that are in the sales leadership roles or the hiring manager roles put enough emphasis in. Are you smart enough? Like true intellect, aptitude. Are you smart enough? Because this is not a sales gig the way that there are a lot of sales gigs for people who love to crush the phone. They smile and dial, they churn and burn. And the whole goal is to get an appointment. And at that point, they're done and they move on to whatever phone burner app they're using that is calling 100 people an hour for them. No, this is not appointment setting where you make $20 an appointment plus $15 an hour and you're crushing it on the phones. No. You have to have high aptitude, because once that realtor or that builder or that financial advisor or your next door neighbor or your ex-coworker refers you to the consumer who needs a home loan, well, you have to qualify them. You have to give them financial advice. You have to answer their questions. You have to pre-underwrite their scenario to even know whether or not a home loan would make sense. Well, that takes a certain skill set for people who are typically, I say, really good at fourth grade math.
Right.
Who love to problem solve. They love to put puzzles together. They love to coach and teach, right? The best at this industry are advisors. So advisors to me are coaches and teachers. That's what we do. We give advice. And you have to be able to understand personal finance and actually enjoy it. And not everyone enjoys personal finance. We talked about going to the ranch. Last time I was out at the ranch, and what I love about it is you're spending a week there. I'm with my family. The Bells are there with their family. But there's like 5 other families from all over the United States who come in for this 1 week. It's kind of like going to summer camp. And me being me, because I get my energy off of other people and connecting and meeting and talking with them. My personality profile, believe it or not, John, it says that a stranger is just a friend I haven't met yet. Like that is my personality profile. And I remember connecting with this lady, and I won't use names and states and everything else, but she was a highly decorated medical doctor. Okay. And she was walking me through like her going to school, her practice, what she does for a living. And it started talking about needles and bloods. Bloods. Like, no, not gangs, not bloods, needles and blood. And scalpels and cutting people. And I was like, just got the heebie-jeebies. And she goes, what do you do again? I was like, what do you mean? I go, I'm in finance. She goes, ooh. And I was like, what are you talking about? Like, you're one of the smartest people in your industry. You're highly decorated. You're really successful. But when she thinks of personal finance, as smart as she is, as accomplished as she is, she gets the heebie-jeebies. The same way I get heebie-jeebies thinking about having to cut open somebody, suture somebody, or, draw blood and give shots. Like all of those things freak me out. So when I'm talking about why you won't make it in this industry that I call mortgage sales, you won't make it because you get the heebie-jeebies talking about personal finance, because you don't like to problem solve, because you're not good at 4th grade math. Therefore, the actual structuring of the loans, the advice that you have to give, learning all the programs and the products and the guidelines, like there's a certain aptitude that you have to be able to retain knowledge. That would be a reason that someone wouldn't make it in the industry.
Hold on. So a question for you. When was that influx of mortgage loan originators getting into the business? Because like refis, when that refi boom, what year was that?
Well, which years?
Like 2007?
Well, yeah, which years? I mean, we had a ton get in when I got in. I got in during a boom year.
Okay, so
04, 05, 06 were boom years.
So would you say...
And then we had boom years, honestly, man, that 2021 was boom.
Okay, so 2021 was the last one. Do you think time has corrected itself to where those loan originators that got in at have been kind of like weaved out, like they've gotten out of the business by now? Do you think?
As long as man is man and woman is woman, as long as sin is sin and greed is greed, we will have people who want to get into any industry when it's red hot and booming because we love to chase fast, easy money.
Oh, do you think they're still in that industry now, though? Or do you think...
No, I think those that were chasing fast, easy money, one of two things happened because nature takes care of this. This is Darwinism at its best, John.
Yeah.
Nature takes care. Those that got in because it was fast, easy money and are still in it, they're still in it because they fell in love with the industry. They realized it wasn't fast, easy money, but they did realize it was a hell of a career that they were going to enjoy and be good at. So they became endurance athletes. They put their heads down, their blinders on, and they grinded it out. Then everyone else got out. Like they just, peace out, homie. Yep, let me go sell cars. Let me go sell insurance. Let me go do some debt collection. Let me go do something else that is not this. Because they thought it was a side hustle, because they thought it was fast, easy money. Those are the people who give my industry a bad name. But my industry is one in which when things are red hot because of the cyclical nature of housing and real estate and mortgage, you're always going to get people who are chasing fast, easy money. Like you just are. So I can't let it bother me. It still will kind of make me feel sick to my stomach from time to time, but I know that comes with the territory.
I have another good question for you. In the order.
Well, you think it's a good question.
I know it's a good question because that's all I ask on this show.
And that's why people love you, John. That is literally, if you want John Coleman to come hang out with you here's the deal. Yep, I'm going to pimp you out right now. His appearance fees, pay for his hotel, pay for his travel, buy him dinner, give him $1,500. He will show up and hang out for the entire day. You, your branch, and anyone else that you want to invite along.
Pay me a weed too, which I do not discriminate. If you could rank the hardest sales jobs from anything, where would you give me the hard, like...
I'm biased, but I want to rank this is one of the hardest sales jobs.
So give me selling cars, selling life insurance, selling what other, like selling at Costco is trying to get me buy a hot dog. Give me the top 5 and like how high you'd rank, because in hearing you speak, it sounds like an easy industry to get into, but when you compare that to all the other sales jobs, it's actually one of the top 3, if not one of the hardest.
Well, yeah, and I'm going to lump the mortgage sales professional, and that's what I call our brokers, our loan officers, our MLOs. Like I just call us, look, we all are mortgage sales professionals. I'm going to put a mortgage sales professional right next to that guy or girl who's over at Jones Lang LaSalle doing commercial real estate, or that guy or girl at Keller Williams doing residential real estate, that dude over at Northwestern Mutual who's doing life insurance, even the guy who's getting started over at Morgan Stanley, going through their 3-year training program, becoming a financial advisor. Like, it kind of all goes in that same wheelhouse. And I would put that type of sales pretty high up in the hard to become highly successful, because they require endurance in terms of, can you stick this out for 2 or 3 years? Commitment. Do you care about really becoming the best? Like, understanding the technical aspect of what you have to do and the advice you have to give, as well as the salesman or saleswomanship, the presentation, the storytelling, the word porn, like using the right words to elicit a response. Like, are you really good at marketing? Do you understand how to leverage technology? Like, that's what the best of the best have the opportunity to do. But then it's like, once you've generated the lead, crap, you have to actually do something with that lead. Right. So now you literally have to either write a contract if you're a realtor. And I would say realtors, and I've talked to people who've done both, and my realtor friends are going to hate me for saying this. I think real estate residential of those 5 I mentioned would probably be the easiest on the list. It definitely would be. I think life insurance could maybe give it a run for its money, just pure life insurance, not financial advisory, but pure life insurance. Then you're going to go commercial real estate. Then you're going to go probably mortgage loan originator. And then you're probably going to go with a financial advisor, like somewhere interchangeable in that ecosystem. But like, to be a mortgage loan originator, I can go bust my butt and generate a lead, but when that lead comes in, I have to win them still. Like, there is no like, oh, let me hand them over to somebody else.
The closer, yeah.
Yeah, like I had a friend of mine who sold for software sales, and all he had to do was get someone on the phone, get a demo booked, and then he got out. Get someone on the phone, get a demo booked, and then he got out. Rinse, repeat, right? The guy or girl who's out there doing pharmaceutical sales, for the most part, they're going in the doctor's office. They have a territory, they have a route, they have a product that they're selling. They're saying hi, they're giving out samples, but I don't know if they're legitimately going much further than that. Now, there's also a compensation with that. Like, the people in pharmaceutical sales may only be making 90 to 160 grand a year. Maybe the top of the top are like low 200s, where we have financial advisors, life insurance salespeople, mortgage loan originators, realtors, both commercial and residential, making millions of dollars a year. Right. So I think there's a correlation. It'll be a hard sale. Those guys and girls that do medical equipment, like sometimes you are in the OR with the doctor who is doing that heart procedure, and they have your device.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So like, I don't know how hard the sale was in order to get in front of the hospital, in front of the doctor, to get them to actually purchase your device. But then you have to show up on surgery
doc,
day.
Pick up my scalpel, put that down. That's not my.
But you have to walk them through it. Now, those guys and girls, they're making $300,000, $500,000, $700,000 a year, who are in like surgical device sales. And I don't know enough about car sales. I've helped people come over from the car industry into the mortgage industry. Right. And here's what I can tell those people. My ceiling is much higher when it comes to comp. Okay. My hours are way more structured than what it is when you sell cars. But there's a certain level of sophistication in detail that comes into it. Like, a lot of guys and girls who sell cars, they sell the car, but then they hand it over to the finance manager who then closes it out. Right. And I'm like, no, there's no finance manager to close it out. Or they hand it over to their general manager who comes in and does the final negotiation to get the sale. I'm like, no, there is no general manager. Like, you are the general manager. You are the finance person. You have to structure that finance, do the paperwork, be organized, be able to answer questions as it pertains to qualifying. And by the way, there is no look the other way in order to get this person the car loan so they can buy that Escalade they've always wanted. Like, we look the other way and you lose your license, you get fined, you may go to jail, because we have very strict underwriting rules and regulations as it pertains to fraud. Right. And I've learned that the car industry may look the other way a lot more than we're ever allowed to do in the mortgage industry.
Just the Kia dealerships. So next question, follow up to that. What sales jobs translate well into becoming a successful mortgage loan originator? Shout out Mike Williams. I know we had, some people that have transitioned from being a car salesperson into a mortgage loan originator. Can you speak on maybe some other industries that would behoove such kind of journey, and maybe talk about some sales jobs that if you are in sales, a particular type, that this might not be for you just because you're good at sales?
Yeah, I've had real estate agents transition over, and those are usually the real estate agents that love finance, love problem solving, were already full-time professional, right? They weren't like, oh yeah, I have my real estate license. There's a big difference between, oh yeah, I have my real estate license, to, oh no, I'm a realtor. Oh, I have my real estate license, to me, it means it's a hobby, it's a passion project, it's a side hustle. No, I'm a realtor means, no, this is my full-time job. It's how I provide for my family. I wake up every day, I eat, breathe, sleep it, and I'm pretty damn good at what I do. I just don't want to do that part of helping people become homeowners. I want to do the finance side. And shout out Lucy the lender.
Shout out Lucy.
Shout out to Lucy again.
Yeah.
Like, that was Lucy.
Right.
Patrick Shishayan, who's been on the show. When I met Patrick, he was a 21-year-old buyer's agent who told me that when I met him, I really want to do what you do, but I want to sell real estate first. He sold real estate for 3 years. I mean, he was a really good buyer's agent. He was probably selling 16 to 24 homes a year, and he was in his early 20s. And then eventually he transitioned over to lending. He's been a lender now for 13 years. He's been a top producer. He's been on the show. Like, he's a great person. So that profession has done well. Insurance, people who've come in from insurance, especially if they were doing outside sales. And that's a big difference, outside sales versus inside sales. Now, you can have an inside sales career in the mortgage industry. You can go work for Rocket. You can go work in their call center and do inside sales. Like, there are people who need home loans. Rocket's spending hundreds of millions of dollars on advertising. The phone rings, lead comes in, you try to service it. It's a great way to get started and learn the industry. But those guys and girls aren't the ones that are making $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year. They don't have the opportunity to make millions of dollars because they're not running their own book of business. That's where I circle back to. He or she that controls the lead, controls the purse strings, has all the money. So we talked about transitioning from one career to the other. Believe it or not, school teachers with an entrepreneurial spirit, school teachers who love to hustle and grind, right? So like that school teacher who also was running an SAT prep business on the side, that school teacher who was also running some kind of a sports camp over the summer. School teachers have done really well because being a school teacher is working retail. All those parents of all those kids, right? I mean, that is having to have that retail mentality of putting the customer first and put a smile on your face, make things better. They're teachers.
Yeah, they like to educate.
They like to educate. Right. They tend to be very resourceful because as a teacher, you have to be resourceful to find knowledge, to find supplies, to find good ideas. Right. So teachers have transitioned very well over. I haven't had much success with cops. Like, no offense to my cops who tune in the show who love what they do, but that hasn't been a good, like, I've had a cop who came in and he crushed it. He was so good. He just effing hated every minute of being a mortgage loan originator, okay, right, you know? Right. No, that dude could, he can problem solve. He can deal make, he can structure, he can read body language like nobody I've ever met. He just didn't like the retail aspect of doing this. People who worked in the title business, like I had a title rep come in and he crushed it. He was loved by every realtor in the market. All of them were lining up to refer him loans. Now, what he didn't like to do was tell people no. Because in the title world, very rarely do you tell a seller, I won't be able to service you when and help you sell your house. But in the mortgage world, no. A third of the people we talk to is like, nope, we can't help you today. Now, it should be, if you're any good, it's a not now. It's never a no. It's a not now, and here's how. But he took it personal when he pulled someone's credit and it was a 520. He took it personal when like someone's DTI was starting out at 80 and he had to tell them you don't qualify for a mortgage because you already spend more money than you bring home. And that bothered him to his core. But I would say a title rep would be somebody who transitions well into it. Right. But anybody who grinds and hustles, shout out. We had this lady, Cole, and Cole is crushing it. She's a rookie. She's in the running for Rookie of the Year. Cole, man, she's a survivor. Like, she's a hustler. She's a grinder. When Cole and her husband got married and they were having their family, and like any of us who have been young and married and starting a family, like something gives, and there's more mouths to feed. There's more expenses. Maybe one of us isn't working as many hours because someone has to stay home with the kids or get the kids to and from school. So careers sometimes get put on the sideline. She learned early on she could make 60 to 90 grand a year working essentially 2 months, maybe 3. Fireworks stand in July, fireworks stand in December, January. That fireworks stand. Now, those 2 months, I bet she worked nonstop around the clock. And I'm sure there was like a month worth of prep work leading up to it, 2 weeks of breakdown, a month of prep work leading up to it, 2 weeks of breakdown. But that hustler mentality, that grinder mentality allowed her to come into the mortgage industry. When I told her, hey, Cole, I need you to go out and meet with 60 realtors over the next 12 weeks. It's called the 12-week challenge. She said, heard. Yeah, I got you. And went out and did it. She came back after 12 weeks. She goes, what else do I do? I said, leverage the people who are being nice to you. Go meet with 40 more people. She said, heard. She didn't know FHA as well as VA as well as a conventional. She knew enough. We put her through Zenix's ground school. Like, she had the foundational, and she had an amazing manager to lean on and a great mentor to also lean on, and maybe a pretty decent coach, right, to help her on the business side of things and the marketing side of things. But what she was willing to do was get out there and hustle and grind, because that's what she had to do for the decade she was running her fireworks stand in her little small town. So even that type of person is what you're looking for. I'm looking for people that A, have a chip on their shoulder, have something to prove. They're money motivated. And B, I'm looking for people who their whole life, they've just been recognized at being good at things. Like, hey, especially if they were like doubted, like, oh yeah, so-and-so doubted me. I was like, hey, hold my beer. And then what happened? I'm like, oh, well, I was number 1 for 5 years running. Timeshare sales. Like, that's one that, oh, wow, you were selling timeshare? Bro, this industry is a lot cleaner if you want it to be. More consistent hours, good income, but maybe even a higher potential income. And those guys and girls knew how to grind. They know how to get after it. I think that's what this industry is. The mortgage loan origination industry is. It's blue collar work, but for like a white collar mindset. But you got to do the blue collar digging, shoveling, breaking things open, swinging hammers, like that type of blue collar, working on engines, getting your hands dirty. But understand that the advice that you're not given, but you're giving the advice, and the amount of impact you can have on these people's lives is very white collar.
Well said. Look at that. That's a great quote to end the episode on, Dustin.
You want to end it on that?
I mean, unless you want to ask me questions about my sales background.
No, we don't want to go there. We know all about it, John. For anyone who tunes in, they know your 2 stints in sales. I think one you were doing like debt collection, and the other one you were like trying to sell people on like some car service.
Well, just like everyone else, it was Cutco knives, and then I had to find out you had to purchase the knives before they paid you, and I said I'm out. And then I cold called used car salesmen like JD Byrider and tried to get them.
How long did you last?
A month. And I begged to get the job. I said, please give me a chance. I won't let you down. I'm taking a risk on you. I promise I won't let you down. I came in on my lunch break 30 days later. I was like, yo, this shit ain't for me.
And that was 30 days. So then how much did you actually work for those 30 days? That, like, you were probably, how many days into it that you're like, this sucks?
Bro, days? Fucking hours. Minutes.
As
soon as I sat down and I was like, I have to call this region, and then the people picking up the phone, and then I was like, there is no break because you're in your cube, and there's like a call log, and they see how long many calls you made. It was fucking brutal.
Yep. So like, you're the guy I don't want to hire. Now, if you came to me and said, hey, for 2 years, I went door knocking selling solar panels, one, I'd be grossed out because I think solar panels are a bit of a ripoff, and I don't like how they finance them, quote unquote, finance them, and the liens that it puts on people's homes.
Right.
But if you came to me and you're like, I door knocked for 2 years, I was top 3 every quarter, every year. There was 30 of us that were out doing it. Oh, I'd interview you in a heartbeat. Now, I'd want to make sure that you were of good intentions and weren't unscrupulous. But like, that's something where I'm like, yeah, I would jump on it. But you, no, if you lasted a whole whopping 30 days
That included 2 weeks of training.
That included 2 weeks of training and 2 weeks of you hating your job and doing everything you could. You probably went and hid in the bathroom for like 2 hours.
I couldn't, I signed, I couldn't.
I once had a buddy of mine who hated his job so much at a bank. He got a job as an assistant manager at a bank. He thought he would love it because it was so easy.
Yeah.
And he didn't really care about money at that point in his life. And then I would get these text messages and these phone calls. I'm like, where are you? He's in the bathroom. I would say, dude, you texted me an hour ago. You're in the bathroom. He's like, I know. He goes, I come in the bathroom for 2 hours. I watch TV shows. I call my wife. I text. He's like, I hate my job that much.
Round of applause for that anonymous friend. Because that is the American dream.
Oh, Jesus. But like, look, if you think this industry may be for you, like hit us up. Check out like what we're doing over at TLOP Online. By the way, it's tloponline.com. Find me on LinkedIn, first name Dustin, last name Owen. If better yet, check this out. If there are other professions that you think people transition well from and into this, go to YouTube, find this episode on YouTube, subscribe to our channel first, but use the comments and be like, hey, Dio, you forgot about this.
All right.
And then if you've had some horror stories, we're like, yo, stay away from people coming from this profession.
Yeah, let us know.
Because they're not gonna make it. Let us know as well. And by the way, John, do you know how many John Colemans I have hired who told me, I'm worth it. Take a chance on me. Look how likable I am.
0?
Oh my God, 100.
Oh, really?
I've probably, it's like anything. This is a sales gig. For every great hire, I've had 2 bad hires.
You got to kiss a lot of frogs to find your prince, Dustin.
Yeah, now I've had plenty of average to good hires, but I'm saying for every great hire, I've had 2 bad hires. Like, I'm not saying I've had more bad hires than I have average, good, and great, but it's great to bad. Oh, no. You're going to go through 2 bad before you ever get a great, and you're going to get a lot of average to good hires in there, and that's using personality profiling and a 2 or 3 process interview process, like or 2 or 3 step process for interviewing. Like those are all tips, tricks, and tactics I've learned over the past 13 years of bringing people into this industry. And by the way, if you're coming into the industry, do not do it alone. Do not do it alone. You need a great mentor. You probably need a business coach. You probably should check out what we're doing at TLOP Online. And I'm not just saying that because I have a product to sell. I'm saying that because I believe it wholeheartedly. Your branch manager can be everything you need. You don't necessarily need to go pay for it. But if you don't have a great branch manager or your branch manager is spread too thin, those of us that make it, even Alex Q, the real estate investor that we had on the show a couple episodes ago, get to know him. Early on, he's going to conferences, he's hiring coaches, he's spending money on professional development because it took that and endurance to get him through the first 2 to 3 years so that he could become the Alex Q that we all know today. So just a little sidebar. You didn't ask me for the advice, but I gave it to you nonetheless. That's how we roll here at TLOP. So last but not least, come check us out. We're going to be in Orlando, Florida, July 30th, 31st, and August 1st.
Let's go.
It is the Florida Association of Mortgage Professionals annual conference. FAMP it's a phenomenal conference. There's going to be a lot of who's there. Great place to network, great place to learn for mortgage sales professionals. And they're hosting it in Orlando, Florida. JC's going to be there. I'm going to be there. TLOP's going to be there. And we'll have the information if you want to figure out how to register on our website, tloponline.com. Sign up for our newsletter by going to the website, subscribe to the YouTube channel, and make sure you tell not 1, not 2, but 3 friends about this content so that they too can subscribe, they too can sign up, they too can start learning and be entertained by JC.
Yeah.
But on that note, his name is John Coleman. I'm Dio. That's all the time we have for you today, but we do look forward to catching you on the next episode. Peace.